developer account first 2 to 3 months. So once they saw our performance, how we are working, and then only so they will give admin role. So who is the senior person in our team? They are going to get the admin role. For example, if you have 5 members in a team, any one person will get the admin role, not everyone. It depends on that. For example, here we will go with Blue Prism tool. I will open the Blue Prism with the admin account. I will show you what are the differences we are going to get based on the user access. I am logging with admin account here. Observe this. If you observe here, so I logged in with admin account. Here I can able to access studio, control room, dashboard, release and system. Everything I can able to access by using admin account. But if you are having only developer account, you will have access to only this studio panel. Only you will have access to studio panel. You will not have access to control room, dashboard, release and system. Only you will have access to studio only. So in studio, if you observe, we have process studio as well as object studio. Two things, one is process studio, another one is object studio. Only you will have access to this studio component. As a developer, you are going to work with this studio only. So you need to understand each and every components in studio. One is process, another one is object. Why we have two things here? Process, if you want to create any new process, we are going to work with process studio. If you want to create any new process, if you want to use any objects inbuilt objects, then we have to go for object studio. What it means by that exactly? For example, if you install any OS in our machine, for example Windows 7 or Windows 8, whatever it may be, along with OS you will get Internet Explorer as well as Windows Media Player, right? These things is nothing but a object studio. Inbuilt, already it's inbuilt and no need to install separately. Same way, the Blue Prism has some inbuilt objects. Already it's predefined. No need to create separately. We can use that to work with any of the process. Coming to Process Studio. If you want to work with VLC Media Player, if you want to work with Google Chrome, then we need to install separately, right? That is nothing but a Process Studio. If you want to create any new process, we have to go for Process Studio. If you want to use any inbuilt things, we have to go for Object Studio. Going forward, we will see exactly what is the difference between process and object, how to work with a Process Studio, how to work with a Object Studio. Here, what it means by the process exactly? We can say that it's a business process flow diagram. Business process flow diagram. This is nothing but a process. In some organizations, they will call it as a process, or they will call it as a task, or they will call it as a robot, or bot, or session. Don't confuse by all these things. Everything is same. Process, task, robot, bot, or session. So different persons, different companies, they will call it the different names. Now coming to process, what exactly the process studio looks like, and then so what all the components will be there in the process studio, we will see. Here the Blue Prism is a GUI based tool. No need to write any single line of code here. Everything will be drag and drop. Already it has been inbuilt. We are going to use those objects to create a process. If you perform a task, if you want to perform any task, we are going to utilize those existing objects. That is nothing but a process. For example, we have a mobile. In our mobile, we have different icons: message, clock, contacts, and then different things. If you want to send a message, we are going to use message icon. If you want to set up a alarm, we are going to clock, right? Same way, in a blue prism already everything has been predefined. We are going to use different objects for different purpose. Everything will be inbuilt. No need to create separately. So in a mobile, if you have icons differently, are you going to do anything? We are not going to do anything with that. We need to know how to use that and then when to use that. That's it. The same way here also, we need to understand each and every component in the process studio when we are creating any process. For example, I will create a folder here. Right click. Just observe this. Creating a group means nothing but creating a folder. I will create a folder, March 7 a.m. Now the folder has been created. Under this folder, you are going to create a process. In the same like in our organization, we will have different domains. Different domains, they are going to create a different folders. Inside the folder, based on your requirement, you are going to create a process. For example, you are working on a banking domain, so you will have a folder called banking domain folder. You are going to work on that particular folder. When they are giving username password to us, they will let us know which folder you are going to work with. You have to work with. Here, this is the folder I created. Inside the folder, we are going to create a process. Observe this. Most of the cases here, the tool itself, it will guide you what we have to do. When I am creating a process, what it is asking, enter the name for the process. For example, I will give first process. I given the name as a first process. Next, click on next. Next, what it is asking, give me the description of the process, why we are creating. We are creating this process for sample. Just I have given a description based on our understanding. So why we need to create the process, we need to give some description. Finish. Observe this. The process has been created here. First process. This is the process name. If you double click on the process, then your workspace is going to be open. I just double clicked on this. So this another window open. As a developer, 99.99% of the time, you are going to work with only this workspace. Here, if you observe right hand side, you can able to see these things, right? This space, these things. We are going to call it as a workspace. Here, the right hand side, the lines, check boxes, all these things we will call it as a workspace. Every process will have start shape, and you will have multiple end shapes. Remember, every process it contains one start and multiple end shapes. If you observe any flow diagram, you will have one start shape and you will have multiple ends, right? Multiple ends, it can be, it will be ended. So there is no limit for the ends. Same way, here every process will have one start and multiple ends. If you observe here start shape, when I selected here, you can't able to delete start shape. Remember, in interviews sometimes they will ask, can you able to delete start shape? No, it's not at all possible to delete start shape. I selected this start and then I am trying to delete. I'm clicking on delete button, otherwise right click. See this, do you have a delete option? No. Start shape we can't able to delete. Start we can't able to delete. And end shape. See this? You have a option to delete the end shape. Click on delete. It has been deleted. Right? For example, if you observe the left hand side, all these we will call it as a shapes. In this navigate panel, all these things we will call it as a shapes. Based on our requirement, we are going to use different shapes. We are going to use different shapes. I deleted end. I need again. Just select this, hold your mouse, drag and drop onto the workspace. The shape will come. If you want to do any selection, come here, hold this, and then drag and drop to the workspace, then it will come. So that's how we are going to do the selection. Okay. Now here we will see how to work with these things. Arjun, I will clarify that. So what is shape and then what it means by the stages. Could you please go to the mute? I'm getting some disturbance. Yeah. Thank you. Now, here each and everything we are going to call it as a shapes here, the left hand side. What you can able to see, those things we'll call it as a shapes. Now, for example, here what we are going to do is we are going to see one example here. For a requirement is, so when we are discussing each and everything, so we'll see each and every shape, how to use, when to use. So this is our requirement, x plus y, and it should be, the result should be saved in z. We are going to calculate x plus y, and then we are going to save the result in z. That is our requirement. If you want to do this in any programming language, what we are going to do, we are going to define x, we are going to declare a x, and then we need to assign a value for x. We need to assign a value for x. We need to declare x, and we need to declare y. After that, we need to, same way, we need to declare z, and after that we need to assign a value for x, and same way we need to assign a value for y, and then we need to do addition. This result we are going to store it in a z. Right? This is the things we are going to implement. The same thing we will implement it here. How easily we can able to do that, just observe. We need to have a value of x, we need to have a value of y. Means we need to create a x and we need to create a y. We need to store x and y values, then only we can do the addition, right? So these things in any programming language we will call it as a variable, right? If you want to store any value, we are going to store it in a variable. Same thing here, we are going to store any single value in a data item. Remember here, you observe the shape, right? This particular thing we are going to call it as a data item. Just drag and drop, the data item is going to be created. So if you want to delete, select this and then click on a delete. Data item is going to be deleted. If you want to create any data item, just select here and then drag and drop. So how many number of data items you want, you can drag and drop those many number of data items. There is no limit. Remember, there is no limit to use shapes, and n number of shapes, n number of times you can able to use it in a process. N number of shapes, n number of times you can able to use it in a process. What it means by that? Here data item we used one time. Again you can use it another time. The same shape again and again I am using here. We can use a number of times. The same way another things, another shapes also we can use. Not only for one shape, we can use multiple shapes and multiple times. We can able to use it in a process. Now we need to remember data item. Data item is to store single value. To store only single value we are going to use data item. Remember, only to store single values. And at the same time data item, it contains 10 data types, 10 different data types, 10 different data types. So still you are getting any disturbance? Is it clear now? Okay. Now just observe this. The tool itself, it is going to guide you. So what we have to do here? First, data item we created. We need to create X and Y. Two things. If you double click on data item, double click. What it is asking? Give me the name X. We will give the name of this data item as a X. And the next, observe this. What it is asking? It is asking, give me the data type for this data type. For example, it is a number. If you don't know what is the data type, what it is going to do, just select the data type. It is going to give you the details in the right hand side. See this password. If you type anything here, you can't able to visible. Same way, flag. What it means by that? It is going to take true or false. When you have a flags, we are going to use true or false. And one more thing, text. Observe this. It will tell you what the text is going to be stored. So like this we can able to understand what is the type of data item, what will be the data type. Now here we are going to calculate two numbers. So X is a number, and what will be the initial value? It is asking, give me initial value for the X. I will give 23 and click OK. That's it. Observe this. For X data item, we given assign a value of 23. Wherever you are going to use X, automatically it is going to use a value of 23. Same way, again we need another value Y, and data type again number. I will give the Y value as a 15. Click OK. We have X and Y's, both the values we have. Now we need to calculate. We need to calculate X and Y. If you want to calculate X and Y, if you want to do any calculation, any expressions, any hard-coded values, if you want to assign, we have a option called calculation. Observe this, calculation. Other than data item and collections, we are going to implement everything in between the start to end. It means in between start to end we should have a link other than data items and collection. I will tell you going forward what it means by the collection. Remember, data items and collections, no need to have a link. Remaining all the shapes, we need to have a link in between start to end. Just observe here, we have link option here, left hand side. Select the link. Give the link from start to calculation, calculation to end. Just observe here another mouse pointer. We have a link. Link has been selected. If the link is selected, you can't able to move any of your shapes here. any of your shapes, we can't able to move here. If you want to move any of your shapes, must and should, we need to deselect that link. If you want to deselect any selection, we need to go for pointer. Now observe this, it has been deselected. Now we can able to move the shapes here. Now we can able to move. Okay. If you want to select any other shapes, just double click. Observe this, it has been selected. If you want to create multiple shapes in a process, click like this. Automatically it will be created. If you want to deselect, go to the pointer. The shape has been deselected. If you want to delete, select all. Select these things. Right click, delete. Now it has been deleted. So like this we can able to select multiple shapes and multiple times if you want to use. Now what our requirement is, we need to implement addition or subtraction or division, whatever it may be. Any type of calculation we have to implement. For that, just double click on calculation. See this, what it is asking, the tool itself, it will guide us. Name, give me the name, what you are doing. We are going to implement addition. And then it is asking expression. Whatever the data items we created in our workspace, X and Y we created data items. Those data items, you can able to see this here in the calculation properties. This is the calculation properties. You can able to see it here, X and Y. The best practice is always drag and drop your data items. We need to drag and drop your data items because data items is case sensitive. I will tell you. So what it means by that? So how it is going to be differ. What we need to do here, we need to implement addition. Observe this. Here we have functions. All these are predefined functions. No need to create by our own. Already it is available. We can able to use. If you know how to type a expression, we can go ahead and then we can type manually. So the best practice is we can go to these functions. Observe this. Based on our requirement, if you select any function here, the right hand side it will give you how to implement, how to use that. Here observe this, 1 plus 2, it is saying 3. Here operand A, operand B, it means left hand side and then right hand side data items. If you don't know what is round on, select on this. Observe 1.47 comma 1, it is going to round this number to 1.4. Like this, each and everything you will have a description and then how to use that with the examples. So easily you can able to understand. Now we need to implement addition. We need to drag and drop the data items. Select the data item, drag and drop on the operand A. Same way, select the data item, another data item, drag and drop on operand B. Now both the data items we selected and we have placed it here. Just click on paste it. Observe x plus y. The expression has been created. If you know how to write this expression, we can able to type also. No issues. But when you are typing, instead of small x, if you give caps X, it will throw error. You will see that also later. Now we given the expression here. Next, what it is asking, store the result in. Where you need to store the result, the x plus y calculation, we are going to store that in a z. Have you created z? Did we created z here? No. Observe this. In workspace, we didn't create a z here. We have another shortcut wherever, if you can able to see this option, this data item option, there just if you give the name and automatically the data item will be highlighted. Observe this, what it's saying. Click here to automatically create a data item. Based on your expression, automatically it is going to create a data type also. So no need to give any data type. No need to create a data item separately in a workspace to store the values. If you want to use this particular icon. Just click on that. Here if you observe, we have only X and Y. We don't have Z. Just I am clicking on this data item icon. What happened? Z created. And what is the data type? Number. Based on your expression, the data item will be created. Now click OK. So here X plus Y values, we are going to store it in a Z. That is our requirement. What we are doing here. Click OK. So once you click OK, always before running any process, must and should, we need to click on a reset button. Observe this one. This is reset button. Reset button, it will show you if you have any errors. Reset, reset, it will show you if you have any errors. At the same time, it will take your process to the initial stage. It will take your process to initial stage. At the same way, if you have any errors, it will show you in a reset button. Now we are going to click on this reset button. Reset. Observe. Do you have any errors here? No, we don't have any errors. And if you want to run any process, first we need to reset, then only we have to go to the run button. This is the go button or run button. To run any process, from start to end, we will call this as a process. We will call this as a task or bot or robot. Okay. If you want to run this,
So
yeah,
is workflow diagram the only way of developing a boat, or is there any other way?
developing the bot just to create the workflow process by using the components.
Okay, I'm just asking like whether the diagram is the only way of developing, or is there any other way of developing the task?
No, we don't have any other way. So we have, this is the way we have to follow to create the task.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Now just clicking on run button. When I click on run, observe in this workspace, it is going to run each and every stage here. It is going to run from each and every stage. The left hand side, if you observe all these things, we will call it as a shapes here. When the shape you are using in the workspace, when you are using the shape in your process, then you will call it as a stage. Then you are going to call it as a stages. Here, start stage, add stage, end stage. It will be like that. But here you are going to call it as a shapes. Start shape, end shape, and calculation shape. When it is coming to here in a process, you will call it as a start stage, end stage, and add stage. It will be like that. Now just I am running this start, addition, and end. Now you can able to see the result in a Z. Observe this. We have a value for this. The result has been calculated. Now the process is completed, but still the process is in end stage. Here it's highlighted. Still it is in end stage. If you want to come out from the process, we need to click on reset button. Reset button, what it will do, not only giving the errors, it will take your process to initial stage. Click on this. Observe what happened. It came out from the process. Do you have the value for Z? No, because it taken your process to the initial stage. If you run again, click on this. Observe Z. The result has been calculated. Right? Here we need to discuss one thing. What is initial value and what it means by the current value. Double click on X. What is the value we have here? Initial value 2, 3, and current value again 2, 3. Coming to Z, result. Initial value, we are not giving initial value for this. And current value, we have a current value. It has been calculated. Reset, double click on X. We have initial value, we don't have current value for X. Y, we have initial value, we don't have current value. Coming to Z, do you have initial and current values? No. Now we are going to run the process. Click on this. After completion of the process, observe initial, current, both the values we have. Same way, come to Z. We don't have initial value, we have current value. Now, what is initial value and what is current value? Initial value, before running the process, whatever the value we are going to give it to the data item, that is initial value. Initial value before running the process, whatever the value we are assigning, that is initial value. And what it mean by current value? Current value, after completion of the process, whatever the value data item is going to hold, that is nothing but a current value. Before running the process, whatever the value we are giving to the data item, that is initial value. After completion of the process, whatever the value data item is going to hold, that is current value. That's why if you observe here, in X, initially we given 2, 3. After completion of the process also, it is having the value of 2, 3. Right? Same way, click on this. Y also same. We given a value of 1, 5. After completion of the process also, we have a value of 1, 5. Now coming to Z. Observe this. We didn't given any initial value for the Z because this is a result. And after completion of the process, it is going to hold the value of 3, 8. Right? This is nothing but a current value. Okay, is it clear? Initial and current values. Now we will discuss another things here. If you observe here, X plus Y we have given. For example, instead of this, I typed X and plus Y and click OK. Reset. Error. Right? Click on this error. See this? What it says? Main page, stage. Stage. Here. What it says? Stage. Add stage. Add stage. It is saying that we have a error. And then what is the error? Invalid expression. Missing data. It is saying that missing data and invalid expression. This is warning. Next one is the warning. Advice or warning. We can say that it's a advice or warning. It means it says that the data item X, small x, is not referenced. It means we have declared X, but we are not using X anywhere in the process. That is the meaning of this. We declared X, but we are not using anywhere in the process. But above one, it is saying that missing data. X is not available. This is the meaning of this. But even though, if you observe, we have X, but why it is saying is, it is having caps X. Instead of small x, we have a caps X. Instead of that, we have another option. Instead of, if you click OK and then if you reset, then only it will show you errors. If you run also, it will tell you what is the reason of the failure. Observe. Failure to evaluate expression X plus Y. Missing data X. X is not available. Instead of this, we have another option called validate. Here, validate. Validate button, it will tell you whether your expression is correct or not. Validate button we are going to use to check whether your expression is correct or not. See this? Always the best practice is after expression, click on a validate. It will tell you what was the reason of the failure. click OK, and then remove this x and small x, and then give. Now again validate. Now expression is valid. It says that expression is valid. We don't have any errors. Now if you click OK and then reset, zero errors. And what about evaluate expression? For example, in sometimes in interviews they will ask the question in different way. I want to check the result of that particular expression before running the process. You are giving some different expressions, but I want to check the result before running the process. If you want to check the result, or if you want to test the expression before running the process, we have an option called evaluate expression. Click on evaluate expression. Observe what is the values it is giving. 2, 3 and 5. You can give any user defined values also up to our requirement, just for the testing purpose. 1 and 1 test. So this are 1 and 2 test. It will tell you so what is how the expression is working, and we can able to see the result of that particular expression before running the process. Remember, if you anyone asks in interview how to check the values before running the process, means we have an option called evaluate expression. This particular thing we will use to check the results of that particular expression. Click OK. Now one question. We create an addition here, but we want to implement multiplication. I want to implement subtraction. I want to implement division. Then remember, every calculation shape is for only one expression. We can't able to give multiple expressions in a single calculation shape. We can't able to give multiple expressions in a single calculation shape. We need to use multiple times calculation shapes in a process if you want to do multiple expressions. This is for multiplication. This is for subtraction or division. We can able to use. That's why we discussed that we can able to use n number of times, n number of shapes in a process. Double click. This is for multiplication. We can give any hardcode values also. We can give like this also. Multiplication result. Click on this. Data item is created. Click OK. This result, if you want to use it in again in another calculation, we can able to do that. Again, do this. What I am trying to do: multiplication result minus 9. This is for subtraction result. We can able to do like this. We can able to use the values of the calculated results in a process in a some other process, but it should be in a sequence one by one. Click OK. Now we need to give the link. Must and should we need to give link. If you don't give link, reset. Errors. What it says? Stage. See this? Multiplication stage. It is showing missing link. Subtraction stage. It is saying that missing link. Close it. Click on the link. Add to multiplication, multiplication to subtraction, subtraction to end. Again, if you want to deselect, go to the pointer. Now everything we have. Z is for addition, multiplication, this for multiplication, this for subtraction, and then we are going to end the process. Now reset. Do you have any errors? No, we don't have any errors here. Run. It will calculate each and everything. So this result of Z, result of subtraction, result of multiplication. We have everything we calculated in a single process, but we are using different calculation shapes for different expressions. If you reset again, it will go out. one more thing we need to discuss here. When you are running the process, I want to say what is the expression it's happening in the backend. If you want to check, we have an option called enable calculation zoom. Observe this. Click on that. Enable calculation zoom. Now it has been highlighted. We need to remember enable calculation zoom. It will work only for calculation shapes, not for multi calculation shapes. Remember, it will work for only calculation shapes, not for multi calculation shapes. So going forward, I will tell you what it means by multi calculation, why it is not going to work for multi calculation shapes. Now we selected enable calculation. Come out, run. Observe what it is showing here. Each and every stage it is showing what is the expression it is happening in the backend. Right? These things it will not available in a multi calculation. We will discuss so in next class what is multi calculation, how to work with a multi calculation. Reset, it's gone. Now, what are the things we discussed in the class? We discussed what is start and what is end. Start shape, end shape. We can't able to delete start shape. In a process can have n number of end shapes. End shape we can able to delete, and every process must and should it should be linked in between start to end, other than data items and collections. We will discuss what is collection in later classes. Other than data item and collection, every shape has to be linked in between start and end. Next, what is data item? To store single values, and data types, it contains 10 different data types. Here we have one universal data type. Sometimes in interviews if they ask what is universal data type in a blue prism, that is nothing but a text, because text will allow everything. Special characters, numbers, strings, anything text will allow. That's why we will call text as a universal data type in a blue prism. Okay. Now another one. Why we are going to use a calculation? Calculation to implement any single expression. Remember, single expression, not for multiple expressions. Any single expression only we can able to implement in a calculation. And what is initial value, what is current value? Initial value before running the process, whatever the value we are giving it to the data item, that is initial value. After completion of the process, whatever the value the data item is going to hold, that is current value. Good. And data items is case sensitive. It's a case sensitive. Next, what is enable calculation zoom? We can able to see what is happening in the backend when you are running the process. What is the calculation? It is happening in the backend when you are running the process. We can able to see by using the option of enable calculation zone. And one more thing, when the link is selected, any shape, when the link is selected, you can't able to move any shapes. If you want to deselect the link, we have to use a pointer. We have to use pointer to deselect the link. Now we created a process. If you want to save this process, just use Ctrl S, or go to file, you have a save option here. Here, just give the some description. So or date, whatever it may be, say the process is going to be saved. Now if you close this process and come to Blue Prism, observe this, the first process. If you double click on that, again the process will come. It will tell you this is the process information. This box we will call it as a process information thing. Observe the process name, and then what is the description we have given when you created a process, and observe this. So who created? So is it a admin or is it a any user, and when it has been changed. It will give you complete information here. Okay. So any doubts in this class? Anyone?
Nothing at the moment for me.
Okay, thank you. Arjun and Sudhakar. Thank you, Arjun.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
I
about you,
actually I
Sudhakar?
have a question.
Yeah, Arjun, go ahead.
It's not regarding today's class. Since
Okay,
I joined for project support,
okay.
I have a scenario. If you
Mm-hmm.
can explain me how to overcome, that
Hmm.
would be good.
Sure. Tell me your scenario.
I have a SAP table, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and inside the table there is a elements. As of now, there is a two elements.
Mm-hmm.
I have to double click on that.
Okay.
So I'm not able to do that. I tried with the keystroke.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Then there is an option called double click, but that is not available for table.
So what you want to do, your requirement is you need to pick the data from the table, or so what you want to
No,
do exactly?
no need to pick. I have to click on that data. That's not a single click. If I double
Just
click only, it will open.
okay, just you need to click on the data. When you click on the data
Yes.
item, so it has to open. That is your requirement, right?
It, yeah, it will go to another page.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
So okay, that's fine. So in when you are creating that in an object, so which shape you have used?
See, I used navigation.
Navigation. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, navigation I used. There I didn't get any option. I just get. I'm getting that only send keys.
Okay. So global
And
sentence. So
yes,
do you know
I thought I'll. Yeah, yeah, tell me.
do you know the option for how to use a global send keys?
Yes.
Okay. Try with global send keys and so try to give the enter option.
Yeah, I gave enter,
Okay.
so it's
Try,
not taking.
mhm.
Yeah,
Try with
it
global
will
send
go
keys
there,
events.
but yeah, global send key events,
Yes,
both I have
both
tried.
you tried. Okay.
Yes,
Even it is not
and
working.
when I give, it will go there. It will focus. I use focus also and
Okay.
activated that one, so
Mm-hmm.
it will click, but nothing will happen. It will not click. It will go there. It will just highlight. That's all.
Is it showing any error?
If, no error. That is the thing. If you want, I can share my screen and
Okay.
application.
Okay.
That would be
Okay. Sure. Definitely we'll see that. So try this option. So which mode you have spied that one?
SAP. I
SAP.
tried with
Which?
SAP.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which mode? So I'm talking about so spying mode, HTML or so
yeah. We can see there is a
accessibility.
normally we have four, yeah, but I use with the SAP mode. We can use SAP mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Do you have SAP mode here?
Yeah, we can accept by application only. You'll get the SAP mode. So if you enable the scripting from SAP module,
Okay.
so it will become a SAP mode. We can use that mode.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. So try with HTML if it is possible. HTML or accessibility.
I'm able to spy that entire table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if I try with the read stage to get entire element also, I'm not getting the element also. That's another problem because
Okay.
I'm totally new in SAP.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So before that, so before spying that, how it is working when you click on that, it is going inside the table.
Yeah, if I
How
double
the
click it,
application behavior. So you need to use double click.
yeah, it's double click only. If I
Okay.
click single click or if I press enter, it will not work. Only
Okay.
if I double click, it will go to another page.
Okay. Must and should you need to use a double click, right? Okay. So
Yes.
just check in navigate. So are you getting double click option or not?
No, I'm not getting. I'm getting
You
only
are,
send keys option.
okay. Okay. Only send keys.
Because in application mode, it shows like element type is a SAP table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it is a list item, then I can use double click.
I understood. Then so it is very difficult to do that particular thing. Okay. So I will
Yes,
cross check
yes.
with the things how to handle this and then I will let you know. Okay, if any option is there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Same time.
Okay. And
Any
before
other
that,
questions?
so
Yeah.
can you share recorded session?
Sorry, come again.
Can you share this today's recorded session?
Okay, fine, Gopal Krishna. Okay, I will do that. So tomorrow onwards, what I will do is I will give the control to you. You can able to record the things. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.